Was there anything else substantive in the debate that's even worth talking about? Let's go there.
No.
Well, I think there was something where Hillary Clinton kind of went on ahead and doubled down on that Russia line and saying all of these
The emails.
intelligence agencies have confirmed this when no intelligence agency has confirmed any of that.
Now,
that has all been individual people like anonymously leaking stuff or alluding to something, but we don't have any signed document or any proof of anything. Just the same as we didn't have any proof that Iran was developing nuclear weapons, that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. We don't have any proof of any of this stuff. It's all hearsay and whisper, and the media is being complicit in propagating this nonsense.
Okay, Nick, you just went off on of course, Iraq didn't have weapons of mass destruction. Iran did not have a nuclear weapon, but Iran was in a position to build one over the next, I forgot however many years. But
again, the intelligence reports actually counteract that. They were saying they don't have the facilities to do so. They have not been able to find any proof that they had the capability to make that happen.
Okay.
They've not found any proof. No facilities, no intent.
All right. What news are you reading, Nick? Just so I can go check it out myself. What is your source for that?
Well, you can go check on the Real News Network. They talked about it on Democracy Now! Multiple people have said this. This is actually, it's actually out there that Iran had no intention of developing a nuclear weapon.
So Iran had no intention nor any capacity, not in the next year, but in the
anybody that has a nuclear facility that's making nuclear power technically, theoretically, has the capacity, if they would enrich the uranium to a high enough purity level, to create a nuclear weapon. But again, that's neither here nor there because they never had the facilities, and they would have to build those facilities. We never could produce any evidence to say that that's what they were doing. No evidence was ever proven on that grounds, and I will hold that.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna. Go ahead, Brandon.
I just want to pivot back to the question about the Russia and the leaks for real, because the Iran question is really interesting, but it didn't come up during the debate.
Yeah,
and I kind of want to get out of the Middle East. So I'm gonna take the heat off your back, Ben, from this one.
Well, actually, I was gonna go in on it, but actually before you do that, Brandon, I do want to ask about the same thing that you're going to, because I saw a conversation, I believe, between Jamie and David on the question of Hillary Clinton and whether or not Russia actually was complicit in the email hacks. I think I saw a conversation between the two of you trying to figure out whether or not that was actually fact-checked or doing some fact-checking. What, one, did I read correctly? And then two, what did you two find on that?
Oh, yeah, you're talking to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm just going to say that everything I've been listening to tonight with, you guys has been a heck of a lot more substantial. I can't talk. Than anything I heard in the debate tonight. It was just, it was interesting. It was from everybody. I was just like learning so much from all of you.
Well, thank you.
But,
I really appreciate it.
And this, yeah, about that is that it doesn't really seem like there's any proof. They just think. I mean, there's agencies that say, well, we think it's coming from, or we believe it's coming from Russia. But there's no actual confirmation on this subject from, I don't think, anybody.
I don't think there is either, and I think that's pretty much the consensus across the board. That's what Nick has said. I believe once she said it, it sent off a red flag for me. I don't believe that that's the case. But we have a consensus amongst the Democratic Party that Russia is the big bad wolf in the WikiLeaks conversation. Brandon, let me actually, David, I don't know if you had anything to add. If so, go ahead and jump in there, and then I'll toss it back to Brandon for you to pick up where you left off, Brandon.
David's gone, so I guess I'll have to jump in.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Well, just let me comment on the whole Russia being a bit. I think I might be the only one under 30 here, and as a millennial, let me say it's hilarious to watch a bunch of old people talk about the Cold War. I mean, because they flew west for this. Watch a bunch of old people. I'm sorry, Nick. Are you under 30? Because I might.
Yeah, nothing. Nick is.
Oh, okay. That's how you offend Nick and so his age. But no. So as someone who was born in the early, 91, 92, to hear these, it comes across as so quaint and paranoid. But besides that, so what if it came from Russia? Like so what?
Exactly.
Exposing, if we can agree that it's other countries' jobs to get involved in the conflicts in a different state, regardless of sovereignty, why then we should be thanking Russia, right? I mean, if we can acknowledge part of this entire, bring the whole conversation to a circle, other countries should be allowed to violate sovereignty in order to, in their minds, promote best practices in a foreign nation. That is what Russia. That was what let's say Russia. That's what Russia did here. They exposed the corruption within our democratic process. I don't know how that became voter fraud in Donald Trump's head, but we definitely have to.
Oh, I know how. Yeah. Go ahead. Finish that thought.
We definitely have to engage with the material first, and then talk about the circumstances by which we came by that material, especially considering the material is time sensitive. Like the person who hacked these accounts will always be that person.
Yeah.
But we only have a month even less than a month to engage in the contents of these, of these emails. So,
I agree. He actually conflated WikiLeaks with Project Veritas, which is something I wanted to talk about, and we'll close out with this. I think it has to be a both and, though. To be honest with you, it must be a both and. It must be us taking whatever the leak says and not deflecting away from what the leaks tell us, because it is what it is. It said what it said, and it doesn't matter where it came from because it exists. And like you said, we might need to thank Russia on some of these issues. However, on the flip side, we should also examine the motivations of the people who are engaging in these leaks. Like it completely separate, right? Don't suck up bandwidth from attacking the fact that these emails were written in the first place, but also don't deflect away from the reality that somebody doing this has a motivation to do this. And we have every right to understand what their motivation is and why they are getting involved, because the perfect example is James O'Keefe with Project Veritas.